pleasant afternoon to everyone. We are the Group 3, the Chapter 10, Air Pollution. I am Mary Midivino, reporting together with my co-presenter, Ms. Maria Tennessee Garcia and Ms. Micaela Madirable. First, what is pollution? It is the process of making land, water, air, or other parts of the environment dirty and not safe or suitable to use. This can be done through the introduction of contaminants into a natural environment, but the contaminant doesn't need to be tangible. Things as simple as light, sound, temperature can be considered pollutants when introduced artificially into an environment. What is the human impact on the environment? The human impacts the physical environment in many ways. Are overpopulation, pollution, burning fossils, fuels, and deforestation. We pollute water with trash and contaminants harming aquatic creatures, introduce invasive species which may have no natural predators, and use dangerous pesticides which can have unexpected consequences further up the food chain. Changes like this have triggered climate change, soil erosion, poor air quality, and undrinkable water. These negative impacts can affect human behavior and can prompt mass migrations or battles over clean water. Long-term health effects from air pollution include heart disease, lung cancer, and respiratory diseases such as emphysema. Some scientists suspect air pollutants cause birth defects. Air pollution can also cause long-term damage to people's nerve, brain, kidneys, liver, and other organs.
Now let's go to the types of pollution. There are 5 types of pollution, which are land, water, noise, light, and air pollution. First, we have the land pollution. Land pollution is the deposition of solid or liquid waste materials on land or underground in a manner that can contaminate the soil and groundwater, threaten public health, and cause unsightly conditions and nuisance. Example of these are mining because it sometimes leaves the soil contaminated with dangerous chemicals. Another is pesticide and fertilizers from agricultural fields that are blown away by the wind. Trash is another form of land pollution. Around the world, we have paper, cans, glass jars, plastic products, etc. So next, we have the water pollution. Water pollution is defined as the presence in the groundwater of toxic chemicals and biological agents that exceed what is naturally found in the water and may pose as a threat to human health and/or the environment. We have nutrient pollution, also called as eutrophication, as another type of water pollution. It is when nutrients, such as nitrogen, are added into bodies of water. Plants die and their decomposition leads to less oxygen in the water. Less oxygen in the water kills aquatic animals. The nutrient works like fertilizer and makes algae grow at excessive rates according to NOAA. The algae blocks the light from other plants. Some polluted water looks muddy, smells bad, and has a garbage floating in it. Some polluted water looks clean but is filled with harmful chemicals that you can see or smell. Then we have the noise pollution. Noise pollution is an invisible danger. It cannot be seen but it is present nonetheless, both on land and under the sea. Noise pollution is considered to be any unwanted or disturbing sound that affects the health and well-being of humans and other organisms. Sound is measured in decibels. Thousands of oil drills, sonars, seismic survey devices, coastal recreational watercraft, and shipping vessels are now populating our waters, and that is a serious cause of noise pollution for marine life. Whales are among the most affected, as their hearing helps them orient themselves. Noise pollution thus interferes with their feeding habits, reproductive patterns, migration routes, and can even cause hemorrhage and death. Most of us are familiar with air, water, and land pollution. But did you know that light can also be a pollutant? The inappropriate or excessive use of artificial light, known as light pollution, can have a serious environmental consequences for humans, wildlife, and our climate. Components of light pollution include glare, sky glow, light trespass, and clutter. Light pollution is a side effect of industrial civilization. Its sources include building exterior and interior lighting, advertising, commercial properties, offices, factories, streetlights, and illuminated sporting venues.
We're going to discuss the air pollution. So, what is air pollution? Air pollution can be defined as the presence of toxic chemicals or compounds in the air at levels that pose a health risk. Air pollution is a contamination of the indoor or outdoor environment by any physical, chemical, or biological agent that modifies the natural characteristics of the atmosphere. So, the household combustion devices, motor vehicles, industrial facilities, and forest fires are common sources of the air pollution. And according to the World Health Organization, each year, air pollution is responsible for nearly 7 million deaths around the world. So 9 out of 10 human beings currently breathe air that exceeds with WHO's guideline limits for pollutants, with those living in low and middle income countries suffering the most. And about the air pollution in the Philippines, according to the 2019 World Air Quality Report, the Philippines was said to have 17.6 micrograms per cubic meter of air with a fine particulate matter of 2.5. That makes the Philippines hold the 57th place from the country with the worst air quality. But the Philippines ranked as the country with the lowest pollutant amongst the Southeast Asia countries.
Let's start with the common criteria pollutants. The Clean Air Act requires EPA to set a national ambient air quality standards for 6 common air pollutants. The criteria air pollutants include particle pollution, ground level ozone, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and lead. These pollutants can harm your health and environment and cause property damage. Of the 6 pollutants, particle pollution and ground level ozone are the most widespread health threats. All pollutants not classified as criteria air pollutants can be said to be non-criteria pollutants. Non-criteria pollutants include benzene, dioxins, and pesticides. However, these non-criteria pollutants include various hazardous substances that can be a danger to human health. Health risks include cancer, lung damage, and damage to the nervous, reproductive, and immune systems. Persistent organic pollutants or POPs and heavy metals are 2 important categories of non-criteria pollutants. Let's talk about smog. Smog is air pollution that reduces visibility. The term smog was first used in the early 19,000s to describe a mix of smoke and fog. The smoke usually came from burning coal. Smog was common in industrial areas and remains a familiar sight in cities today. Smog is unhealthy to humans and animals, and it can kill plants. It makes the sky brown or gray. Smog is common in big cities with a lot of industry and traffic.
And next is acid rain or acid deposition. It is a broad term that includes any form of precipitation with acidic components such as sulfuric or nitric acid that falls to the ground from the atmosphere in wet or dry forms. This can include rain, snow, fog, hail, or even dust that is acidic. Acid rain can be extremely harmful to forests, and acid rain that flows into the ground can dissolve nutrients such as magnesium and calcium that trees need to be healthy. And acid rain also causes aluminum to be released into the soil, which makes it difficult for trees to take up water. So acid rain is caused by chemical reaction that begins when compounds such as sulfur dioxide or oxides of nitrogen are released into the air. So this substance can rise very high up into the atmosphere. where they mix and react with water, oxygen, and other chemicals to form acidic pollutants that we call acid rain. And I'm going to show you what are the effects of acid rain looks like.
What is acid rain? Acid rain is any form of precipitation with high levels of nitric and sulfuric acids. It can occur in the form of snow, fog, and even dry materials that settle to Earth. Most acid rain is caused by human activities. When people burn fossil fuels, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides are released into the atmosphere. These gases react with water, oxygen, and other substances to form sulfuric and nitric acid. Winds may spread these acidic solutions over hundreds of miles. After it falls to Earth, acid rain enters water systems as runoff and sinks into the ground. This can make water toxic to crayfish, clams, fish, and other aquatic animals. The rest of the food chain, including non-aquatic species such as birds, is often affected as well. Acid rain also harms forests by damaging trees' leaves, robbing the soil of essential nutrients, and making it hard for trees to take up water. By designing cleaner power plants and using fewer fossil fuels, we can reduce the number of pollutants that create acid rain.
So the Philippines Clean Air Act of 1999 that outlines the government's measure to reduce air pollution and incorporate environmental protection into its development plans. While the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act enacted in 2000 has provisions mandating for solid waste reduction and waste minimization measures such as recycling, composting, reuse, and other methods of waste disposal. In recent years, however, the Environmental Department came out with an order that allows cement manufacturers to burn mixed waste to use as an alternative fuel in their facilities. And the government is now coming up with waste-to-energy guidelines that allows waste management facilities to circumvent a ban on waste burning.
And I'm going to show you a video for more clear and deeper understanding about the Philippines Clean Air Act of 1999.
You like fresh air. But the air we breathe is no longer clean. It's filled with pollutant air, smoke from cars and industries, toxic fumes, radioactive materials, and also smoke from human. Do we have laws that protect, in order to maintain, the cleanliness of our air? Yes. Republic Act No. 8749, otherwise known as the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999 is an act providing for a comprehensive air pollution control policy and for other purposes. It contains 7 chapters and 56 sections. It was approved on June 23, 1999 under the administration of Joseph Estrada. The law adheres to the constitutional right of people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. It also believes in the principle that polluters must pay, because a clean and healthy environment is for the good of all and should therefore be the concern of all. Burning of leaves and waste materials is prohibited under Republic Act 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act, Section 48, Paragraph 3. People found to violate this law will be penalized with imprisonment of 1 to 15 days and a corresponding fine of 300 pesos to 1,000 pesos. The act also encourages to stop burning garbage and wrong waste disposal. Here are the programs or activities implemented to achieve this objective, and this are: Linis or Ligtas Hangin Program, Bantay Simnia and Bantay Sunog, Industrial Enforcement Program for Stationary Sources, Promotion of Clean Fuel and strong collaboration between government and stakeholders on measures to address pollution. Government agencies that support the Act: Department of Transportation and Communication, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Energy, Department of Education, Commission on Higher Education. Department of Interior and Local Government and the Local Government Units, Philippine Information Agency, Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, and Philippine Nuclear Research Institute. A better future, a clean country, citizens are healthy, responsible, and united.
Thank you, Michaela and Tennessee. Now, we're down to the last remark of this reporting. We provided some educational videos related to the topic, air pollution, for more thorough understanding to the given discussion. That's all for our reporting. Thank you for listening. Watch and have fun learning.
Air pollution consists of chemicals or particles in the atmosphere that pose serious health and environmental threats. But what causes air pollution, and what does it mean for our planet? Some air pollution comes from natural sources like volcanic eruptions, wildfires, or allergens. But most air pollution results from human activities, such as energy use and agriculture. There are different types of human-made air pollution. When we burn fossil fuels to produce energy, they release greenhouse gases into the air. These emissions, such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases, trap heat from the sun in Earth's atmosphere, leading to a rise in global temperatures. This creates a cycle where air pollution contributes to climate change, and climate change creates higher temperatures. In turn, higher temperatures intensify some types of air pollution. For example, climate change increases smog because it forms in the presence of high heat and increased levels of ultraviolet radiation. More frequent extreme weather, such as flooding, contributes to damp conditions and therefore to a rise in mold. Warmer weather also leads to longer pollen seasons and therefore more pollen production. Smog is a type of air pollution that reduces visibility and has serious health effects. Smog can be divided into two categories: sulfurous and photochemical. Sulfurous smog is made up of chemical compounds called sulfur oxides. It occurs when burning sulfur-bearing fossil fuels such as coal. Photochemical smog, also called ground-level ozone, is a result of the reaction between sunlight, nitrogen oxides, and volatile organic compounds. Nitrogen oxides come from car exhaust, coal power plants, and factory emissions. Volatile organic compounds are released from gasoline, paints, and many cleaning solvents. Smog not only creates a brown haze that reduces visibility, but also harms plants, irritates the eyes, and causes respiratory distress. Another category of air pollution is toxic pollutants. These are chemicals such as mercury, lead, dioxins, and benzene that are released during gas or coal combustion, waste incineration, or burning of gasoline. In addition to adverse environmental effects, toxic air pollution can cause serious health problems such as cancer, reproductive complications, and birth defects. While air pollution has many consequences for our planet, there are solutions. We can limit toxic pollutants, smog, and greenhouse gases by decreasing the use of fossil fuels, such as in transportation, manufacturing, and electricity generation. Reducing air pollution not only contributes to a cleaner environment and better human health, but can also slow the rate of global warming.